Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed judges, welcome, and my name is Ben Charles Gray. I would like to start a video game company called Blacklight Studios. I'm here to talk to you today about a big problem in the video game industry and my solution for it. So, Super Mario, Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Pikachu, and Sonic the Hedgehog. These are just 5 of the world's most legendary and recognized video game heroes, and of course there are many more like them. Went too far. Unfortunately, these are the game heroes of today, and I think we can do a lot better than this. I have been a gamer my whole life, and to use Sonic and Mario as prime examples, I have seen games like this go from strength to strength, as you can see on the screen. Unfortunately, these games are just considered for kids nowadays. And this Christmas, these are the essential games to have. As you can see, many of them are masculine. Most of them are rated from 16 to 18 years old, and they're also at toddler height. In the photo on the left, you can see the floor is in shot, which brings me to my next problem. Kids are getting their hands on these games, and there's just a massive gap in the market. So the other problem with the market is that my generation of gamers seem to prefer the games that are supposedly marketed to children that we grew up with, while the kids of today are more interested in mature games like playing Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto. So, Gamergate, hands up in the room. Has anyone heard of this in the media? 2, 3, 4... Okay, well, I'm not going to take any formal stance on this because this is a very bitter online debate that's been raging on for a few months now. But here is a very simplified flowchart, and basically it's a case of female developers and gamers who consider themselves to be feminists, not just women either, critiquing sexism in gaming, while there are some traditional gamers who feel threatened by this, instead of alleging sloppy journalism, because this whole phenomenon stemmed from a journalistic scandal which was since proven false, but the debate it sparked has raged on. And then, as always, you've got online trolls involved sending misogynistic comments, which is terrible. But as I said, it's not just female game developers and gamers that are critiquing sexism in gaming and have identified a big problem with the market. This forum user says, I actually find the catering to the young male demographic to be more insulting, as it lumps all young males together as universally liking shooting, driving and sports games, which is narrow-minded. So, what have I told about so far? What I've talked about? There's a dominance of the 18 to 35-year-old male stereotype in the market. There's calls for broader, fairer representation, and that means there is a massive underrepresented demographic. This is where I come in. So, recent signs of diversity, my competition could be considered, but I also kind of like to think of them as my partners and friends, because we're all fighting the same battle. That game company, based in the United States, have released Flow, Journey, and Flower. Just from looking at the posters, I can tell these are the kinds of games I would like to play. They've done pretty well. Journey breaks PlayStation Network's sales records, the fastest selling game ever released on PlayStation Store in both Europe and North America. And they also say that players sent hundreds of emails about their experience, ranging from a 9-year-old girl to a 65-year-old man. This proves that these games have very broad appeal. So as for my company, the values and goals of Blacklight Studios would be to reinvigorate the industry by bringing iconic characters and fictional worlds back to the forefront. As I've already demonstrated, these underrepresented demographics exist in huge numbers. We push artistic and creative boundaries by provoke, evoke, and immerse mind, body, and soul together as one. We bring raw imagination back to the game industry, and the common themes that you'd see in Blacklight Studios games are surreal, otherworldly, ethereal, enchanting, timeless, colour, simplicity, and purity with an ultra-modern sophistication. How do I know that this is a viable, commercially viable way to approach video games? One word: avatar. As you can see, based on the poster, there is modern otherworldly imagery, highly recognizable characters, not specifically targeting children, and this has resulted in the highest grossing film in the history of motion pictures, $2.78 billion globally, which is an incredible achievement for James Cameron. So Moonbeam is a game that I have made here at Buxton University by myself, which I presented at the Creative Talent Showcase earlier this year. I did have some footage for it, but I don't think I've got time, so here's a picture. Working PC demo available upon request. It's a 3D first-person puzzle platformer where you're walking on moonlight to get from one end of the stage to the other. Promotional trailer is currently in production. That's my current university project, and there's already a sequel in the planning stages. The investment, the money I'd use, would be needed to continue the development of the game. Mostly what the funding can cover is personal online game design coaching, which falls under within the £1,000 price bracket. Further investment can go towards software licenses, enabling me to develop games from home and take my skills further. And we can then go to a future digital release on Steam.
Sorry, Ben, I'm going to have to cut you off.
That's all right. It's good timing, actually. So please help me join the imagination revolution. Let's start this. I've been Blacklight Studios, and out of darkness comes light. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Round of applause. All right, judges, do you have any questions for Ben?
Hello. You've got some reasonable understanding of the tools that you need, but have you actually done a full costing?
So software licenses all cost over £1,000 per program. Further investment would go towards this. So the £1,000, if I win it today, would be for the long-term growth of the business. What it can cover at the moment is...
But do you know what the cost is? I mean, you listed off 5 or 6 different packages there. Do you know how many you actually need to develop even just Moonbeam?
The ones I listed, so Moonbeam was developed in Unity alongside 3ds Max, so it'd be just those two for Moonbeam alone. But if I wanted to make more types of games with a broader range of content, then I might need other packages in the future, such as the trailer I'm currently working on is being made in Vue.
Right. Okay.
I know they cost in the region of £1,300 to £1,600 per package.
And do you know what the Steam costs are?
No, that's a very long-term goal, so that's something I haven't looked into yet.
I think they do some relatively cheap. We have an involvement with Peter Molyneux.
Yeah, I know him, very good.
Yeah, so
not personally, but
the costs of Steam are relatively little, but the cost of the software packages are huge.
Yeah, that's the main obstacle. So
it's very impressive to see you've actually done something. Well done.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, I did have some footage, like I said, but I don't think I've got time to show you. But like I said, there's a PC demo available on PromQuest. I also meant to point out that I put some handouts on your desk, which further highlights the problems with the industry and my gap in the market that I've identified. So you can take a look at those in your own time. Thank you very much.